The following program is not for children. Alright, time to finally cover the spectacular Spider-Man. Originally I was discouraged because of burnout and lack of attention, but after getting some recent spotlight and seeing you guys' recent reactions to my latest post, I'm motivated to come back again. So hopefully I hope this does better from now on. But this is a topic I really want to talk about. Spectacular Spider-Man's version of Electro. Usually people talk about the Jamie Foxx iteration, and while Jamie Foxx is my favorite version of Electro and my favorite Spider-Man movie villain, Spectacular needs credit for starting the sympathetic Electro chain alongside Spider-Man the new animated series. So, in interactions, we get three new characters. A popular Hispanic and African American girl named Liz Allen, a one-armed scientist named Kirk Connors, who next episode becomes the supervillain the Lizard, and the main subject of this video, Maxwell Dillon, or Max Dillon for short. So in the episode, Kirk Connors and Eddie Brock are experimenting with genetically altered eels and waves, so that way they can harness the bioelectricity for a more clean energy source. Although Peter Parker points out a problem with the tank being unclean and it being way too hostile in there. And so Connors hired his old buddy Max Dillon, who is an electrician, to upgrade the lab's biological filters. Man, a guy named Max Dillon in an episode about electricity. I really hope nothing bad happens. So Peter and Gwen need to leave because Aunt May from the last episode where Peter fought the Vulture set up a new curfew for him. However, while they leave, Max Dillon tries to grab his drill after it fell onto the control panel, even though he clearly sees that it's freaking out. So while doing so, he gets brutally electrocuted and then fucking dies. Although I want to say this is definitely my favorite villain transformation in the show. I love the way it's lit and the blue line of the screen, because blue is my favorite color. It's always a nice treat. Not only that, but I love how he flares and his hair goes crazy, especially this scene where he's flopping for his life. So he somehow survives this. I don't know how because comics, but he's now a ghost-like creature whose body is constantly generating bioelectricity. Although Connors and Eddie promise him that it's only temporary and that they're going to begin work on a cure immediately. Until then, he needs to wear this special hazmat suit to contain his powers. After Eddie makes a shitty joke about how you can still yell at the TV, so hey, what's changed, right? Max laments on his life dreams about going back to college, meeting a girl, and then starting a family. Eddie tells him to calm down and tries to say that he needs time to adjust. Max Dillon unfortunately freaks out, and both he and Eddie accidentally discover that Max has the power to shoot electricity. Ashamed and disgraced, he tries to go to get coffee, but discovers another power, the ability to breathe electricity, which knocks his coffee down. Max Dillon freaks out and he throws his hands up in the air in frustration, although his powers accidentally possess the lighting in the room, knocking out the power. He tries to escape and hide. However, Peter Parker thinks that he is a crook. So he chases him down and masks him to everyone else. However, once he sees the ghostly face, he realizes that, yeah, he fucked up. So later on, he finds out that this guy used to be Max Dillon. So now, because of exposing him and having everybody laugh at him and be afraid of him, now Peter Parker alongside Kirk Connors is number one on his shit list. So, Peter needs to capture Electro, all the while trying to protect his new girlfriend, Liz Allen, who is a popular girl that was fair in her class that originally didn't like Peter due to being a nerd, but after saving her from Electro's first attack, she now begins to develop feelings for him and becomes his girlfriend. So, what did I think? Easily the best Electro appearance aside from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. When people talk about villains in this show, it's always Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Venom, Tombstone, and Hammerhead. No one really talks about Electro even though he's a core part of the Sinister Six, which is crazy too because this is literally the second episode of the series. Yeah, Electro is the second villain here, which is fitting because in the comics he's like, what, the fourth villain? Anyway, so as you can tell, this episode takes the sympathetic approach to Electro, where in the comics there being some asshole jock who thinks he's better than everyone else and wants to obtain power to become a god. This Electro actually wants to lose his powers. As originally he was a normal, innocent man who was just trying to do his job, and then one day he ended up passing away in a tragic accident. And then when he comes back to life, he's now this inhumane creature that has powers that make everybody scared and afraid of him. He can't touch anything without it blowing up in his face, both figuratively and literally. And the fact that he can't even drink a cup of coffee implies that he's going to either die of thirst or starve to death. Most versions of Electro don't need substance outside of eating electricity, so I really hope this isn't the case. He was supposed to get cured in Season 3, alongside the introduction of Carnage and the Scorpion, but unfortunately Season 3 got cancelled because whoever the fuck canceled this show is a fucking loser. And I will say though, Peter kinda did fuck him up, because if he would have just talked to Max first, then he would have never became the villain he is today. It's not as corny as TASM 2, where people say that Max became a villain in that movie because Peter forgot his name. No, he became a villain because Oscorp stole his work, they killed him, and then the police shot at him while he was trying to explain what happened to him. Peter was the one trying to help him. Here, Peter mocks, bullies, and humiliates him. So Electro's theme song for TASM 2, My Enemy, makes more sense for this version. Liz Allen is also a new character here too. People complain about race and gender swaps. Meanwhile, in the comics, Liz Allen was Harry Osborn's wife, who was an adult white woman. Here, she's a teenage Hispanic black girl, but despite that, this is definitely the best version of Liz Allen. Unlike the other popular kids, she actually develops and becomes more soft and caring, and later helps Peter fight the villains. Not only that, but in Season 2, the villain Molten Man is her brother, so she's even more tragic since she lost her brother due to a mutation similar to that of Electro. And I really like the effect that Electro has of literally scarring her. Although, unfortunately, Peter doesn't give her because he's a fucking idiot. Although it is nice to see Peter around a girl without freaking out about how pretty she looks. Electro's fight scenes go so hard, and I wish he had more of them in this show. Him using his ghost hair to suck up all the electricity in the lab to get revenge on everybody who bullied and mocked him is so cool. His aura is immaculate. Chris Freeman voiced Electro, and he did a good job with this performance to no end. I love the sadness in his voice. I love when he becomes all powerful. I love when he gets cocky. I love his screaming. Not only that, but this Electro has some of my favorite sound effects in the entire show. Of how you can listen to him cracking. I love this part during his boss fight at the end, where Peter Parker is shocked and scared about how he's able to triple jump up and then control all the metal in the area, to the point where he's even like, climbing a metal tower wasn't a good idea. As for Electro's monster design, it's easily my favorite in the entire show, although I do have problems with it. First off, Max Dillon got killed by blue electricity. Why the fuck did he become a yellow ghost? That makes no damn sense. Like, if he made Spiderman 2, Max Dillon got killed by blue electricity, so he became a blue ghost. Comics, he got electrocuted by yellow electricity, so his powers were yellow. Why did it go from blue to yellow? That makes no sense. Not only that, but he's also too yellow too. Like I said, I think they should have made him blue with a hint of yellow, so that way he's more transparent like. Aside from that though, this is definitely my favorite Electro design aside from the Ultimate Comics and TASM. I love the ghostly hair and the way it flames in multiple directions, the way it blows in the wind, the tubes on his chest that are replacing the blood in his veins. I fucking love it. It's a shitty starfish suit, but it was actually cool because of how cool the ghost hair is and how the tubes show that he's barely holding on to life. He shouldn't be alive and moving, yet he is. And so there you have it, Spectacular Spider-Man Episode 2, Interactions, debuting the best villain design and definitely the most underrated villain in the series, with some of the most underappreciated action, and redefining a fan favorite character to what he is today with the movies will later follow suit. Thank you and peace out.